There comes a point in life where you look at yourself and think, something has to change. Maybe it's your habits. Maybe it's your environment. Maybe it's the way you think, the way you show up, or the way life has been unfolding. You feel the urge to reinvent yourself, to become sharper, stronger, better. But there's a quiet fear that comes with that. If I change too much, will I lose who I am? That fear is more common than people admit, because when most people hear the word reinvention, they imagine becoming someone completely different. A new personality, a new identity, a new life. Almost like erasing the old version of themselves, but that's not real growth. That's escape. True reinvention isn't about becoming someone else. It's about becoming more of who you already are, without the noise, without the limitations, without the outdated patterns that no longer serve you. Think about it this way. At your core, there are parts of you that have always been there. Your values, your instincts, your sense of right and wrong, the things that matter to you, even when no one is watching. That's your foundation. And reinvention doesn't replace that foundation. It refines it. The problem is, over time, life adds layers. Expectations from others, mistakes you've made, roles you've had to play, environments that shaped you in ways you didn't choose. Slowly, those layers start to feel like who you are, but they're not. They're just what you adapted to. So, when you feel the need to change, it's not because your core is wrong. It's because something on top of it is out of alignment. Maybe you've been living in survival mode for too long. Maybe you've been holding on to habits that once protected you, but now, well, they hold you back. Maybe you've outgrown the version of yourself that your environment required. And now there's tension, not because you're lost, but because you're evolving. Here's where people go wrong. They try to reinvent themselves overnight. They change everything at once, how they talk, how they act, what they do, even what they value. And for a while it feels exciting. But eventually it starts to feel forced. Because when change isn't connected to your core, it doesn't last. It becomes performance, not transformation. Real reinvention is quieter than that. It starts with awareness. You begin to notice what feels right and what doesn't anymore, what drains you, what energizes you, what aligns with you, and what feels like you're pretending. And slowly you start making adjustments. Not to impress others, not to chase an image, but to come back into alignment with yourself. There's a difference between changing who you are and removing what you're not. That difference is everything. For example, you don't have to become a completely different person to grow. You don't have to lose your personality, your humor, your edge, or your individuality. You just need to let go of what's misaligned, the habits that sabotage you, the beliefs that limit you, the environments that keep you small. That's not losing yourself. That's finding yourself again. But let's be honest, growth comes with discomfort. When you start changing, people will notice. Some will support you. Others won't understand you, because they're used to the version of you that was predictable, the version that fit into their expectations. And when you step outside of that, it can create distance. That's one of the hardest parts of reinvention. Not the change itself, But, accepting that not everyone will grow with you. There will also be moments where you feel uncertain, where you question if you're doing the right thing, where the old version of you feels familiar and the new version feels, well, unfamiliar. That space in between, that's where growth happens. You're not meant to feel fully comfortable there. You're meant to learn, to adjust, to refine, to figure out what stays and what goes. And here's something important to remember. Your core doesn't disappear when you change. If anything, it becomes clearer, stronger, more defined. Because when you strip away the noise, what's left is the most authentic version of you. Not the version shaped by fear, not the version shaped by pressure, but the version shaped by truth. So, if you're in a place where you feel the need to reinvent yourself, don't rush it, don't force it. And, don't be afraid of losing who you are, because the goal isn't to become someone new. The goal is to become someone real. Someone aligned, someone intentional, someone who moves with clarity instead of confusion. Reinvention isn't about starting over. It's about starting from a deeper understanding of yourself. And when you do that, you don't lose your core. You finally live from it. So, take your time. Pay attention to what feels true. Let go of what no longer fits. And trust that the version of you you're becoming isn't a stranger. It's who you were always meant to be.